What's up, everybody? This is Dave LeClaire with MUO, and we are here to take a look at the AndaSeat Jungle Edition gaming chair. This is one of AndaSeat's more budget-friendly gaming chairs, so you won't have to spend too much money on it. It's currently selling for $300, which is quite a bit less than the previous model we reviewed, the Fanatic Edition, which is pushing $500. So if you still want to get the features of a gaming chair, like the race car-inspired look and all that good stuff, but you don't want to spend too much money, this is definitely an option to consider. But is it a good option to consider? That's what we're going to figure out in this review, so kick back, relax, and let's go. So the first thing we need to talk about when it comes to the AndaSeat Jungle Edition chair is the design. Because after all, when you're buying a gaming chair, a big reason you're buying it is because you like the way it looks and you like the design. Now, as mentioned before, the chair has that race car-inspired design, has the two holes where the seatbelt would go. In this case, it's used for your back support. It has that nice cradling cushion that really feels like you're locked into a cockpit when you're riding it. And the thing that I really like about the Jungle Edition specifically is that it doesn't come in any gaudy colors. Instead, it comes in a simple black, which is what I have, and a black and red palette. There's no crazy fluorescent green or fluorescent yellow or any of that stuff. It is simple. It's subdued. So if you're looking for a gaming chair that won't completely dominate your room, this is definitely one you're going to want to have a look at. There's only 4 AndaSeat logos on the chair. There's 2 on each of the pillows and 1 on each side of the chair. And that's it. Otherwise, it looks nice and clean. The wheels look nice and clean on the bottom of the chair. Everything about the look of the chair is very tasteful and very subdued. For example, the stitching going up and down the chair, it's not a different color, so it blends in, but if you look closely, it gives that nice little bit of accent that makes it kind of stand out, but without being too much in your face. One concern I had with the design of the chairs going into this review was that the armrests are hard. Typically, I like my armrests to have a nice pillowy type of cushion on them. These have your hard plastic cushion. I've done a lot of damage to my elbows over the years playing hockey without all of the proper equipment on because I'm not the smartest man on the face of the planet. So I was worried that resting my elbows on this would be uncomfortable for extended periods, but I've actually found that it's plenty supportive, and even though it is a hard plastic, it does have a little bit of give, which means that it cradles your elbow without putting too much pressure on it. Also, I should mention that this doesn't come with the 4D armrests like the previous chair we reviewed from AndaSeat, as it is a cheaper model. The armrests do only go up and down. They don't go out. They don't rotate in. So if you're looking for a chair that has a little bit more flexibility to the armrest, you're definitely going to want to look elsewhere. But if you just want to be able to adjust the height, which is what most people need, this will do the job just fine. While we're on the topic of adjustments, I need to mention that this chair is designed for people up to 265 pounds and up to 6 foot 5 inches tall. If you are bigger than that, you're gonna have a bad time with this chair. I'm around 250 and I'm pushing the limit of this chair. Granted, I do have a slightly wider butt than most people, so I am kind of a little tight in the seat region, but it's not so bad that it's uncomfortable. I actually find it quite nice because I feel like I'm cradled into the seat instead of sloshing around with a lot of room. But if you like a little bit more room, or if you're bigger than me, you may want to look at one of their other chairs, as this one is designed for people less than that size. If you're any bigger, it's probably going to be uncomfortable. Now, another thing I really like about this chair is the use of PVC leather, which is often referred to as vinyl. Basically what that means it's not real leather, which makes it cheaper. It also makes it easier to clean. It also makes it a little bit more durable, and it makes sure no animals are harmed during the making of the chair, which is a nice bonus. Now, don't let the fake leather deter you though, because it is very comfortable and it's still soft to the touch, so it feels very good to sit on this chair for a long period of time. Now, obviously that's not just the PVC leather, that's also the memory foam that's underneath the leather that's giving you that nice supportive feel without feeling too hard. I think AndaSeat walks the line perfectly on this chair between making the chair firm enough to keep you supported, but soft enough so that you never feel like you're having any pressure put on you. The one thing I don't really like about the design of the AndaSeat is the lumbar support pillow. It sticks out a little bit too far, so when I sit on it, I feel like I'm kind of bending my back at an awkward angle. I do like the neck pillow, though I did have to put it up higher in order to get it on my neck because I'm a little on the taller side. If you were shorter, you would be able to line it up with the little holes on the chair. I have to go up on the headrest in order to get it, but that's not a big deal. It still looks good and it still feels good and it stays nice and secure. But the lumbar pillow, I found myself just not using it most of the time, as it just doesn't quite feel right to me. It might to you, it might be just the shape of my back is different, but I just found that if it was maybe like 2 inches thinner, it would probably sit better on my back. Now, as far as the build quality of the chair goes, obviously it's difficult to test that with just a couple of weeks to do the review. I can't really say whether or not the chair is gonna last for 10 years or not, because I've only had it for a couple weeks. I can say that it feels well built. Again, that memory foam feels firm, so it doesn't feel like it's going to lose its shape over time. And there is a steel framework under that memory foam keeping the chair supportive. And I am pushing the weight limit of the chair, which again, as mentioned, is 265 pounds, but it doesn't feel like it's going to break or anything under my weight. So that's always nice. Now, another test for the durability was I let my dogs climb on the chair, let them hang out with their nails on it. Granted, they're not the same as a cat's nail. They're not going to sit there and knead on it, but they do have fairly sharp nails. They climbed around on it. They pushed off and jumped off of it. Nothing ripped, nothing even really scratched. So the PVC leather definitely seems as durable as AndaSeat claims that it is. Now, as far as the wheels go, AndaSeat included 5 wheels on the chair, and they promise that they're silent wheels. Now, on my floor, they're not super silent because my floor is very old and uneven. I live in a house that was built in 1903. Granted, the floors have been refinished over the years, but they are still the original floors. So they're a little uneven, so when I move the chair around, I do hear some bumps and some little ticks. But if you have a smoother floor, I could definitely see this being quite quiet. AndaSeat also made this chair able to recline up to 160 degrees, so you can kick on back and relax if you want to do that. I don't really know when I would ever recline that far with an office chair, but if you want to take a nap, I guess you could. I tried reclining it all the way back and the chair didn't fall over, even again with me pushing the weight limit of the chair, so it felt pretty stable and comfortable. If I had a footrest, I probably could legitimately fall asleep on the chair. And the only other adjustment comes from your standard lever that comes on just about every other office chair, which allows you to lift the chair up, raise the chair down, and push it in to prevent the chair from rocking. That's right, even though this chair reclines, it also does have a rocking feature, which is quite cool. So you can kick back and recline a little bit and rock back and forth, or you can lock it in place. That's up to you, but it is nice to have that flexibility. Again, it's not the same level of flexibility as the more expensive chairs, but for $300, it does have a good range of motion and it can do a little bit of everything. So that brings us to the big question. Should you buy the AndaSeat Jungle Edition gaming chair? I would say you absolutely should, assuming you are small enough to fit in it. I don't know if I would recommend it for somebody pushing my size, 250 pounds or so. I think it's a little on the snug side and I probably would be better suited with a bigger chair. But if you're in the low 200s or below, you should be quite comfortable in this chair. It should fit you perfectly. If you're not too tall, also, again, I'm 5'11". Even though it says it goes up to 6'5", I do feel like I'm at the limit of the height as far as lining up the neck pillow with my actual neck. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But still, if it fits you and you're looking for a chair that won't break the bank too much, granted, $300 is not cheap by any means. You can go out and buy a standard computer chair for $150. But if you're going to be spending 8 hours a day sitting at this thing doing work or playing games or doing whatever, I definitely can say it's worth getting, and I give it an 8 out of 10 overall, which I personally think is a pretty solid score, and I feel very comfortable recommending this chair to anybody out there who's in need of a gaming chair, as long as they're just a little on the smaller side.